What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hurricane Watch here on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. I'm your host, and probably somehow not the dumbest person you're going to see on your screen tonight, the one and only Mr. Christian Proscia. I appreciate everybody for tuning in once again. I know. Obviously, it's a big day in the news world. There is MAC football being played today. That's clearly the only thing going on tonight. So. In all seriousness, yes, it is election night. Yes, we are still streaming. No, we are not talking politics, but I will start it off. Yes, I know it's 7 o'clock at night, but if you have not cast your votes yet, if you had not made your vote known yet, go do that because obviously elections are a big thing and just make your voice heard. That's why we have brave men and women that have died for our freedoms to make our voices known and our votes known. So shout out to all of the veterans, all of the ones that didn't make it back home, and everybody else for fighting for those freedoms. Enough about politics because it's a rabbit hole I do not want to go down on. What a weekend for the University of Miami athletic department, just all around bangers, man. Just first off, I do want to preface all this by saying Xavier Restrepo is the greatest of all time. Congratulations to my very good friend, Mr. Xavier Restrepo, on breaking multiple career accolades uh, this past Saturday against Duke. We're going to talk about that in a quick second, but that's how I want to open this show. I've known X for a while now. Absolutely great dude. Love his family. I'm ecstatic for X and for Miss Ashley and for Mr. Jaime because what an accomplishment. When you think of the great Miami Hurricanes receivers, you obviously think of guys like Michael Irvin, Andre Johnson, Santana Moss. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Now Xavier Restrepo is in that conversation as well, and it's more than deserved for the local hometown hero. So once again, congrats to my boy X. But without a further ado, let's talk about that 51 or 53 to 31 victory over Duke. Shout out to the guys for covering the spread, man. Good teams win, great teams cover. It's the age old saying. Yep, B to A, belt to ass. There was a lot of belt to ass this weekend. Cam Ward, 400 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Damian Martinez, 11 carries for 66 yards. Mark Fletcher Jr., 12 carries for 65 yards and a score. Little hat trick action for Xavier Restrepo, 8 catches, 146 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jacoby George, 4 catches for 78 yards and a score. And finally, Zay Horton, 6 catches for 71 yards and no scores. Defensively, Kiko Maui-Noa, 9 total tackles, 2 TFLs. Tyler Barron, 6 total tackles. Jadius Richards, 5 total tackles, 1 pass breakup, and 1 pick. Zaquan Patterson continues to impress. Coming in mid-game, having 3 total tackles at the safety position. Very good day from ZP. Michelle Powell had a pick, and then finally, another guy I want to talk about is OJ Frederike. 5 targets, no catches allowed, 1 pass breakup, 1 interception, 78.2 coverage grade for OJ Got fans. All around dominant win for Miami, especially in the second half. A little bit of back and forth action in the first half. Um, Duke tried to take a lead as soon as I'm ready to write Duke off, as soon as I'm ready to literally had a tweet queued up of Duke's quarterback is not good. He starts throwing touchdowns. So shout out to the guys from Duke. They had a great performance. Something that I did see on social media that I liked is no use down were thrown. So shout out to Manny Diaz because I know he had some words with the guys before the game of, hey, if you're going to throw up the U, you better keep it up. Do not throw it down. Obviously, with his ties to the program. However, Coach Diaz did want to once again, for old time's sake, ruin a very promising Miami season. At one point, thought that Duke was going to come away with the trap game upset, and then the legend of Cam Ward just continues to impress. Uh, three second half touchdowns or multiple second half touchdowns. Excuse me, not three. Um, two deep ball touchdowns, one to Jacoby, one to X. That one to X was the historical catch. First off, excuse me, guys. That catch t- tied tied Mike Harley for 182 career catches, and then the run in for the touchdown absolutely blew away the record for yards set by Santana. And that yeah, just Cam Ward, what a guy, man. Cam Ward is the best quarterback in college football right now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Cam Ward's an absolute dog. In my opinion, he is top two in Heisman voting between him and Ashton Genty. Unbiasedly, you gotta show love and recognize to the incredible season Ashton Genty's having. There has not been a running back season really like since college Barry Sanders. So if we're talking about that, it's a long time ago, long before my time. Ashton Genty's doing some things that nobody's done in a very long time. I still have Cam Ward over Travis Hunter. I think Travis is having a very good year once again. Travis Hunter, great guy, absolute baller on the field, but I'm gonna give that love to Cam Ward. Really, it's pick your poison. I think all three of them are deserving. All three of them will be in New York. I think there is a big drop off between 3 and 4 as far as Heisman poll right now. Everybody's saying it's Dylan Gabriel. For the fourth spot, I don't know if it's probably going to end up being Dylan Gabriel as the fourth option because quarterback for the number one program in the country, statistically doing all right for himself. But I do think that there's a drop off between the third and the fourth place, like last year. Um, just all around offensive masterclass, being able to do once again 400 yards in the air, 150 yards on the ground, big offensive performance. A guy I really do want to break down even more, OJ Frederique. This kid is so good. Like I said, on Saturday, 5 targets, no catches allowed, one PBU, one interception, should have had 2 picks, and a 78.2 coverage grade per PFF. Very talented player. This season, he's played just over 260 snaps of coverage, only allowing 8 catches. No touchdowns allowed, and a 25.3 passer rating when targeting him. You don't see a lot of true freshman defensive backs being in the position that OJ is in straight out the gate. Pretty much a day one starter and has just absolutely flourished in this defense. Easily going to be a freshman All-American. I think we should seriously consider him for first team All-ACC DB. Might be pushing it a little, but I do think he deserves an All-American nod. Just absolute baller. OJ OJ is easily the best player in Miami secondary right now. Obviously, there's been a lot of concerns with the secondary once again. Injuries do not help. Another injury update, Jadius Richard. Very serious injury per Coach Cristobal in the presser yesterday. That's what he had to say about his injury shortly after his interception. Prayers, wish him nothing but the best. So, Miami secondary is absolutely rattled with injury. They're already a quote unquote underperforming group as far as production, full team production. Very interested to see what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. I would say at this point, just keep everybody because our last 3 games of the stretch is a Georgia Tech team who hasn't really done anything special in the passing game. Syracuse, who I think is very criminally overrated, and I think Kyle McCord is trash. That's just me and my analysis on him. And Wake Forest, who I think is the best team left on the docket. However, not really a lot of passing game firepower between those three squads. So I think that Miami can get away with getting the DBs rehabbing and ready to go for the conference chip, which is looking like it's going to be Miami versus SMU. I don't know who called that one. Definitely not me. Preseason, I said it was going to be between SMU and Louisville, and that's the way that things are looking right now. But I think just get the DBs rehabbing and healthy, and everything's going to be straight. Keep OJ Island out there, just strapping, and let him do the work, and let him just shut down everybody's offensive attempts. As far as records go, there was a couple records that were set on Saturday that I do want to talk about. Obviously, first one is Xavier Restrepo tying Mike Harley's 182 career receptions and, surpassing Santana Moss with 2,578 career yards and counting. There's plenty of football to be left, plenty more record numbers to be shattered for X. Also on Saturday, Cam Ward ties Steve Walsh's 1988 record for single season passing touchdowns with 29. He also surpasses Malik Rozier with 33 total touchdowns in a single season for the number one spot in that record book. As far as things that are upcoming for X, he is now recorded, or his 3 touchdown game on Saturday now ties him with elite guys like Gator, Santana Moss, Leonard Hankerson, and the one and only Jacoby George for single game touchdowns record at 3. Obviously, having 3 touchdowns really helps your stat count. So he is 9 on the season, which puts him tied with Eddie Brown, Mike Harley, Andre Johnson, Stacy Coley, and Braxton Berrios. Leonard Hankerson is Miami's single season touchdown reception record holder with 13. So he needs 4 more in order to make that happen. I think that is very doable. That might just be me, but the way that things are going, I think that X is doing all right for himself. So I think that is a very achievable record to be held in the next couple of games. As previously stated, Cam Ward ties Steve Walsh. He is now not he's now 11th all time in single season passing yards with 3,146. The single season record is 3,642 by Bernie Kosar. I think that is a very, very achievable record for Cam. I think that he's probably going to end up hitting that during the Wake Forest game. That is all the record talk that we want to talk about. I was getting ahead of myself. I was ready to take things to the break, but no, we got the Georgia Tech analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia Tech, 5-4 on the year, doing all right for themselves as far as record. We've shared a couple common opponents with them, beating Duke. Excuse me. Where is it? Beating Virginia Tech and losing to Louisville. Not everybody can beat Louisville. So, 5-4 on the year. Nothing really statistically popping. Haynes King with 1,568 passing yards alongside 8 touchdowns. Jamal Hayes at running back, 598 with 8 touchdowns. Receivers, Malik Rutherford, 50 catches, 594 yards and 2 scores. Eric Singleton, 41 catches, 548 yards and 2 touchdowns. Georgia Tech has 4 receivers with 2 touchdowns on the year. As everybody knows by now, Georgia Tech is a struggling team this year. They're going to show up like the 2001 Canes. The second that they play us, all of a sudden they're going to have the statistical best game of their lives because everybody loves to play their best when they play against the best. I think that this should be a pretty handed win for Miami. They're really trying to get their get back after last year's upset, or not a fun one to watch towards the end of it. Real That's what happens when we try to stat pad, and I guarantee that will not happen again. Coach Cristobal has learned from his mistakes. We're going to run the score up on them. So if we do fumble at the tail end of the game, guess what? We're still going to be up by 25 points. So it's going to be just fine. All in all, like I said, handed win for Miami. I've got this one. Pretty much another 500 total yard game, 40 plus point performance. Once again, playing into why Miami is the statistical best offense in the country. With the college football season winding down, there's already talks about guys hitting the portal. Unfortunately, as my dear friend Robbie Listella loves to say, the portal giveth and the portal taketh. And that is very true. I'm expecting another big. I want to talk about this because there's a couple names being circulated with Miami as far as what's going to happen in the portal right now. If the season ended today, which it's ending very soon, unfortunately, for a lot of teams. One of those teams is probably going to be University of South California, and there is talks that star wide receiver Zachariah Branch plans or intends to hit the transfer portal at the conclusion of this season. Branch, obviously being one of the more dominant receivers in college football, he's going to get a lot of offers and interest. And I think Miami has shown with their ability to be a very receiver-friendly offense, not afraid to air that ball out, being one of the top offenses in college football. I think Miami does lie as a prime destination for a lot of top offensive recruits throughout the portal. Zachariah Branch is somebody that I could say is a throw the house at him type guy. Whatever he wants financially in NIL, he is more than deserving of it. I think Zachariah Branch would be a huge get for Miami's offense. And it helps provide what life is going to be for Miami without Xavier Restrepo, Jacoby George, and Sam Brown next year. Obviously, very talented receiving core coming in next year with guys like Joshua Moore and Malachi Toney. But Isaiah Horton's coming back. JoJo Trader is coming back. And I think that JoJo is going to help with a little bit of portal recruiting for his former Chaminade Madonna quarterback, Mr. Cedric C.J. Bailey, who is currently tearing it up right now at NC State. I think Bailey is definitely a guy who could very easily hit the portal at the end of the year. And I think, dude, I want to see Cedric Bailey back home. Cedric Bailey's a great kid. I've had the absolute pleasure of working with him when he was at Chaminade. Bring him home. Right before signing day, Miami offered him. There was talks that he was going to flip to Miami. There was talks that Jeremiah Smith was going to flip to Miami from their previous commitments, and that would obviously be huge. Obviously, JJ's doing all right for himself at Ohio State. CJ's doing all right for himself at NC State, but I think JoJo can possibly work his magic, try to get another quarterback in the room. As far as what's going to happen, portal talk, if CJ Bailey decides, you know what, I'm going to come to Miami, don't be surprised if his good friend from Ohio State comes back too. Obviously, Ohio State's doing all right for themselves. Like I said, Jeremiah Smith is the clear-cut best wide receiver in the country. I said it. Argue your mom. I'm right. Jeremiah Smith, I think, is one of the 4 best receivers in college football, alongside Ryan Williams, Xavier Restrepo, and the receiver from Ole Miss, whose name is escaping me right now. But I think being able to bring him home would be huge for Miami. It would immediately reload the offense. And then If Emory Williams is the quarterback, great. If Cedric Bailey is the quarterback, great. Either which way, Miami's going to be um, a top a top destination for a lot of recruits coming out of the portal. Miami has shown the ability to develop guys out of the portal very well. The offensive dominance of Cam Ward, Damian Martinez immediately come to mind defensively. Michelle Powell, Kiko Maui Noah, Tyler Barron have all been killing it. Simeon Barrow, being able to get those guys playing at the next level, which all of those guys should very easily be playing at the next level this time next year, is going to be a big sway for top recruits. So out of the portal and in high school. So I can definitely see Miami having a very loaded transfer portal class at the end of or during this offseason. Now we're going to take a break. There we go. I'm going to chug a water. I'm working with some cotton mouth right now, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we are going to talk all things hoops because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The college basketball season is back and it's upon us. So we will be right back. When we come back, all things Miami men's and women's basketball. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the Hurricane Watch on the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. New background, I know. Look at that beautiful Wasco Center, ladies and gentlemen. I got to enjoy I got to hang out in the Wasco Center, shoot a game for the first time. Absolute amazing environment. Being able to cover both Miami men's and women's basketball throughout my day yesterday was absolutely awesome. I'm very happy that college basketball is back. College basketball is my favorite sport to watch and to shoot. There's nothing like college basketball, ladies and gentlemen, and I stand by that. Um, but I know I'm very excited about it. So let's talk about it. We're going to first start things with our lovely ladies on the women's basketball team because we're gentlemen. Our male viewership is gentlemen. Ladies first. That's the golden rule that I was taught growing up, and yes, we're running it. Miami women's basketball defeated Stetson 78-53. Excuse me. Yesterday afternoon to secure the first win in the Trisha Cullop era. Golf claps for Coach Cullop. Congratulations on your first career coaching win here at Miami. Yeah, there we go. Um, what a game! It was just a great game. They at the begin. First off, shout out to the community, man, because Miami hosted an elementary day for all the local elementary schools in the greater Miami-Dade County area. And there was about the projected total was 4,500 screaming 10 and unders, like 10 and under kids screaming the entire game. That is a very weird type of stadium pulse. I was not expecting that. I did not expect that going into the game. So shout out to all the kids that showed up and showed love. Shout out to the teachers and shout out to Miami marketing for making that happen. It was really cool. It was really awesome to be around. The kids were having a good time. Miami's in-game DJ was playing all the best hits on TikTok. So any break, you look into the stands and you see a bunch of kids TikTok dance, and that was fun. And after the game, there was post-game autograph signings. Very weird items were being autographed. My personal favorite was one little girl asked Haley and Hannah Cavender to sign her lunchbox. I thought that one was funny. There was other ones where it was literally just a blank sheet of paper, pom poms, and just other assorted items that had nothing to do with the game. But so shout out to the team for showing love to all the kids. Shout out to the kids for showing love to the team. It was just a really cool environment to be in. Like I said, very, very random stadium pulse that I was not expecting going into that game. Jasmine Roberts headlined the scoring, 16 points, 6 boards, and shooting 6 from 10 from the field. Cameron Williams in her Miami debut, 10 points, 10 rebounds. A power forward center coming out of Michigan. Big get for Miami, well over 6 foot. Very dominant paint presence. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Haley Cavender in her return to the U, 12 points, 8 rebounds, shooting 5 from 12. Anae Adams, 10 points, 8 rebounds, going 3 for 4 on shooting. And Hannah Cavender, 9 points, 5 assists. Early on in the game, Miami did struggle shooting. Shots were not falling. There was a little bit of a struggle, especially in the first half. Very, very close affair with Stetson. Midway through the third quarter, things really started to change. Better looks as far as shots were falling. They do a great job. Excuse me, I got the hiccups today. Very fast paced ball movement. I really like how Miami women's basketball runs their offense. They do a great job. The ball is always moving, a lot of screens. Haley Cavender and Anae Adams do a great job of quarterbacking the offense in a sense. I'm not really phased by the shooting struggles. End of the day, it's the second live game, first regular season game. As the non-con schedule comes along, I think that it's going to remedy itself. I think Miami is a very good shooting team. That's something that I thought initially. Both the Cavender twins are snipers. Jasmine Roberts is a dog, especially inside the paint. She does a very good job of bobbing and weaving throughout the paint. Anae Adams is another slasher. So those four do a great job as far as really just shooting the lights out of the gym. Cam Williams provides paint security, and just absolute dominance, especially defensively. Yeah, you're not getting shots up on her. That's all I'm going to say. It's very hard. It would be very hard to shoot on Cameron Williams, which forced Stetson outside a lot. They had some very good looks from three. I really liked how Stetson played as well. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Despite the blatantly obvious size and skill advantage that Miami possessed, Stetson is a very scrappy team. They were fighting for rebounds. They were diving for loose balls, all around. Just very very well, fundamentally sound, very good basketball team. So shout out to the great people at Stetson Women's Basketball. You guys played one hell of a game. Do not let the score tell you anything else. But Miami is now 1-0 in the Trisha Cullip era, like I said. And their next matchup will be next Monday, November 11th, versus Jacksonville. 7 p.m. tip off at the Wasco Center. Be there or be square, because guess what? Miami women's basketball is going to be fun to watch this year. Now, on to our friends from the men's basketball. Oh, also, the entirety of the men's team was sitting courtside for the women's game. They were getting hyped. Any and ones or threes, the entire courtside student section of the men's team was getting up. They were getting loud. They were having a good time. I do want to shout them out for being very supportive teammates towards the women's team. But men's basketball, 113-72, blowout victory over Fairleigh Dickinson. Yeah, this one was over the second Lynn Kidd hit that tip off. Speaking of Lynn Kidd, absolute animal. Lynn Kidd may be my new favorite basketball player to watch. 24 points against Fairleigh, 10 for 11 of shooting, 9 rebounds. Almost had a double-double in his Miami debut coming out of Virginia Tech. Because, guys, you got to remember, I'm on the baseline shooting. So I'm dialed into the game and I'm shooting. Then there's a little bit of a timeout. I look up at the scoreboard. We're about 3.5, 4 minutes into the game, and Lynn Kidd's already got 10 points. This dude's going to be special for Miami. He is, yeah, dude, I can't rave about this guy more. He is the most complete player on the floor for Miami as far as offense and defense. Does a very good job of just circling around the paint. Does a very good job on fast breaks. He's able to get up and down the court for fast break alley-oops very well. Just all around, I think if there is no physically imposing presence like Lynn Kidd, you're scared to go up for rebounds against him. You're scared to try to shoot in and around his very long wingspan radius. Lynn Kidd is going to be, in my opinion, Miami's best player this year. Nigel Pack, 21 points, 9 for 11 shooting, 2 for 3 from 3, 5 assists. Very good day for Miami senior leader. All around dog. I love watching Nigel Pack play basketball. Did a very good job as far as cooking the poor souls that were matched up on him offensively. Nigel Pack's handles are second to none. Just absolutely putting these poor saps in a blender the entire night. The big one, Jalen Blackman being activated right before the game, came out and made a statement. 15 points, 6 for 10 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3 multiple dunks. Coach L was raving about Jalen after the game. Very happy to have the performance that he did. On such a very short turnaround of when he got activated 2 hours before the game. Looked very good during pregame shoot-around, kind of had a feeling that he was going to be back, and then just absolutely balled out. The freshman made a statement last night. 2 freshmen absolutely balled out. Divine Ugachukwu with 15 points, 6 for 9 shooting in his true freshman debut for Miami. He's going to be He's going to be what for Miami's offense what Nigel Pack is now. Divine is going to be the guy who's commanding the offense, quarterbacking it. He did a very good job bringing up the ball, plug and playing, especially in garbage time. All around, I think that Divine is going to learn a lot from having Nigel Pack, and he's just going to keep chipping away and extending leads. And I do not think that there's going to be a fall off between Nigel Pack and Ugachukwu, especially next year when this becomes quote unquote his offense. The big one, Jaleel Bethea, 9 points, 4 for 9 shooting, 1 for 3 from three in his regular season freshman debut. This kid is, I've said it for a couple times now, Jaleel Bethea can jump out of the gym, ladies and gentlemen. I have not seen a more athletically gifted hooper in a very long time, Jaleel Bethea. He reminds me a lot of how John Morant plays basketball. Very athletic, very good bounce. I'm pretty sure if he tried, he would probably smash his head on the backboard, on like the top part of the backboard. That's how good his vertical and athleticism are. Very underrated shooter as well. And I think that I like the John Morant pro comp a lot. I think he's John Morant with a better three ball, if that makes sense. Um, Speaking of the three ball, there was a clip late in the game where Jaleel's driving, breaks this poor kid from Fairleigh Dickinson. Breaks this kid. Kid is on the floor. Put him on skates, is on the ground, and hits a three in this kid's face, turns around and walks it away. The entire bench clears. The arena erupted. Even the photographers, because we're supposed to be like low key chill, like awesome, cool play, kind of don't show emotion. Every photographer on the court was like, "Oh my god," because that was a viral level play. I'm sure if you just look up Jaleel Bethea on TikTok right now, you'll probably see the clip that I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I have no clue how to pull videos on here. Got to talk to AJ about it, or else I would be playing it right now. And I would be playing it on loop multiple times because what a play. That was insane. One of the best basketball plays I've seen in a very long time. As far as their matchup with Fairleigh Dickinson goes, Fairleigh Dickinson is a very fast-paced team, especially offensively. Coach Larinaga, after the game, described them and said that before the game, he basically told the team that this was going to be a track meet game, and he was right. Just very fast-paced team. In order to win, you got to be able to keep up with them offensively, or like match them, or be faster. And they were faster. Just being able to be the faster team while being the better basketball team. Really, really just yeah. There was no other way of beating around it by saying other than saying the lid got blown off the roof. The most points per game, or most points in the Larinaga era, and I believe most points since '86 is what Luke Chaney told me. If I'm wrong, it's all Luke Chaney's fault. It's always Luke Chaney's fault. Uh, but dominant game. They were physical. They were fast. They were sniping. Great performance. Defensively, very suffocating defensive squad. The poor guy that has to bring the ball up every play is getting Nigel Pack on his hip from the second that the ball gets checked in, or Divine Ugachukwu. Like I said, they both did a very good job of just staying on a hip the entire possession, really just putting pressure on the bring in guy. Like I said, Lynn Kidd, you're not really getting anything offensively out of him when you're driving to the paint. Multiple blocks, multiple swats as well. Unfortunately, a couple of them did get called as fouls. He did get a little into foul trouble. Yeah, I really like the additions of Jalen Blackman and Matthew Cleveland for Miami. I think that both of them are absolute dogs. They're going to be very, very key to Miami's success this year. Really like what they're already bringing offensively. Um, like I said, I think Lynn Kidd is going to be one of the better bigs in college basketball. I do think that he has the potential to challenge guys. I think I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a little bit of an FAU tangent, but I do think Baba Miller from FAU is going to be once again a very underrated big, and same with Vlad Golden, who's now at Michigan. Unfortunately, Vlad dropped 2 points last night, but in terms of one of the historical better bigs in college basketball in recent memory, Vlad Golden definitely comes to mind, and I think that Lynn Kidd is a little bit more athletic and a little. I love you, Vlad, but a little more physical than Vlad. Um, Nobody clip this and send this to Vlad, please. Please let me still be your favorite American. But I'm really excited to see what Miami is going to do as far as the regular season is concerned. I'm very high on the Canes. Next matchup for Miami men's basketball on Sunday, November 17th. Long time from now. It's almost 2 weeks. Sunday, November 17th versus Coppin State. Tip-off is 2 p.m. That is all the stuff I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning into the Hurricane Watch. If anybody was wondering, I will not be at the Georgia Tech game this upcoming Saturday. I'm sorry. I'm being called to Inter Miami. MLS playoffs are a big deal, especially in the Bleacher Brothers Sports Network. We're really loving up on the MLS and just soccer as a whole coverage. So I'm going to be at Inter Miami on Saturday night. However, tune into New Era Prep and Bleacher Brothers social media because Alex Muniz will be on the field. As always, he'll be providing, he'll be doing pictures and videos. Mr. I Don't Speaky Speak. And Miss Cass Clayton will be doing her thing as well, providing all the best coverage of University of Miami athletics. As always, make sure you're tuning into Bleacher Brothers and New Era Prep for all University of Miami athletics coverage because there is nobody that does it like either party, man. We got some ballers. That's all I got to say about that. Once again, thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Hurricane Watch. I'll be live next Tuesday on the Hurricane Watch. I will not be live tomorrow on the New Era Prep Show. I may be pre-recording a segment. Have to find some time in order to get paid. But may have a pre-recorded segment coming your way tomorrow for the New Era Prep Show. But we will be having just in case, we will be having a live stream of the New Era Prep Show on Saturday afternoon. Still working out a time because the FHSA is releasing their high school football playoff bracket next Saturday. I believe the selection Saturday show begins at 12 p.m. Pretty much as soon as that show ends, get ready. Just divert all attention to Bleacher Brothers once again. Myself and Dan will be on. We'll probably bring on a couple guests, local high school coaches or players. Talk ball. You know the deal. But my show's about to end. Don't go anywhere. Fill up your popcorn, fill up your water, go to the bathroom. Right after this, myself and Robbie Listella will be talking all things FAU basketball and more on the Listelli Report. So tune in the next 15 minutes for that. I'm your host, Christian Prosher. Thank you so much for listening once again. Hope everybody has a great night and watch the Listella Report. Have a good night, everybody.